Robbie's piano sat in a small square room at the rear of the house, close to a window that overlooked the backyard. She kept a potted plant in one corner and a folding table where students could fill out music worksheets in the other. During lessons, she sat straight-spined in an upholstered high-back armchair, tapping out the beat with one finger, her head cocked as she listened keenly for each mistake. Was I afraid of Roby? Not exactly, but there was a scariness to her. She represented a rigid kind of authority I hadn't yet encountered elsewhere. She demanded excellence from every kid who sat on her piano bench. I saw her as someone to win over or maybe to somehow conquer. With her, it always felt like there was something to prove. At my first lesson, my legs dangled from the piano bench too short to reach the floor. Roby gave me my own elementary music workbook, which I was thrilled about, and showed me how to position my hands and properly over the keys. All right, pay attention, she said, scolding me before I would even begin. Find middle C. When you're little, a piano can look like it has 1,000 keys. You're staring at an expanse of black and white that stretches further than two small arms can reach. Middle C, I soon learned, was the jarring point. It was a dividing line between where the right hand and the left hand traveled between the table and the bass clefs. If you could lay your thumb on middle C, everything else automatically fell into place. The keys on Roby's piano had uneven colors and shapes, places where bits of the ivory had broken over time, leaving them looking like a set of bad teeth. Helpfully, the middle C key had a full corner missing a wedge about the size of my fingernail which got me centered every time. It turned out I liked the piano. Sitting at it felt natural, like something I was meant to do. My family was loaded with musicians and music lovers, especially on my mom's side. I had an uncle who played in a professional band. Several of many aunts sang in church choirs. I had I had Roby, who in addition to her chore and lessons ran a musical theater programs for kids which Craig and I attended my every Saturday morning in the basement of her church. The musical center of my family, though, was my grandfather Schultz, the carpenter who was also Roby's younger brother. He was a carefree, round-bellied man with an infect infectious laugh and a scraggly salt and pepper beard. When I was younger, he lived on the west side of the city, and Craig and I had referred to him as West Side, but he moved into our neighborhood. The same year, I started taking piano lessons, and we renamed him Southside. Southside had separated from my grandmother decades earlier when my mom was in her teens. He lived with my aunt, Carolyn, my mom's oldest sister, and my uncle Steve. My uncle Steve, her youngest brother, who just 2 blocks from us in a cozy one-story house that he's wired top to bottom for music, putting speakers in every room, including the bathroom. In the dining room, he built an elaborate cabinet system to hold his stereo equipment, much of it found at yard sales. He had 2 mismatched turntables and shelves packed with records he'd collected over many years.